Okay, we're streaming live on Instagram and YouTube. And to start off the stream, my son has a poem for us, and he says he can. Are you gonna explain it?
No, you can
Well, you can
Oh,
only read it with a Wisconsin accent, and it makes a whole lot more, not more, well, more sense.
yeah.
Uh,
All right.
by
Yeah.
This is a great poem by Shel Silverstein
in the book.
in the book Where the Sidewalk Ends. It's entitled My Beard. My beard goes to my toes. I never wears no clothes. I wraps my hair around the bear, and down the road I goes.
Around
Round my bear.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Thank you, Donovan. All right. That was hilarious for us, anyways. I think it's more funny because
The Wisconsin accent.
yeah, not used to Donovan doing a
Yeah.
Wisconsin accent.
Good night. Love you.
Good night, love you. All right, now I need to decide which pen to use, the thin one or the thick one. Use the thick one. So tonight I'm going to be working on Calvin's Institutes, chapter 7, actually.
What made you choose the thick one?
The thick one. I don't know. There's something about the thin one. It just feels like it's going to fall out of my hand every time
Okay.
that I'm working with it.
I like the thick one better too, but I think it's because the smaller one I grabbed, like you push the button more. There's less places for your
Oh,
fingers
yeah,
to
yeah.
be.
Yeah. So to show you what we're talking about, so I've got, whoops, this pen or this pen. One's a little thicker, and they both have these buttons on them. This one, except has like a third button up here. But when you're drawing with this, sometimes it like twists in your hand, and sometimes your finger actually accidentally pushes those buttons. And with this one, it's thick enough that it keeps your fingers away from. Steph, how are you doing?
What? I'm reading a book.
she's reading. She's distracted.
I'm
That's
fine.
okay.
I created a whole day for this.
Do you have any? If you what?
No, that's okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. And now I'm reading a book. And I created a horrible day. Let's be honest. But here we are.
But here we are. Now we're live. And it's been so long since I've done this live.
The Institute's live or live at all?
Just live at all. I mean, just the other night I was live, but working on the Institutes. I finished chapters 1 through 5. Those are actually going to come out in their own little booklet, hopefully in June. So you can look for that through P&R Publishing. TJS 113. Hey, how you doing?
You say it like you know them. Him. Do you? You're just saying it.
Oh, what is going on? It looks like it's stretched across the screen. That's weird. Yeah. He asked about the time lapse drawings, and then I did the video featuring his
This is
this is Timothy. Timothy.
Cool.
All right.
Do you know what I don't like? Well, let me just tell you everything that I don't like. I'll start slow.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. When I was erasing all of those things, you can't, or maybe you can tell me what to do. I felt like I was drawing or like erasing like this. It's not so versatile as your Wacom was.
This one?
Yeah.
You wait, like what?
No, like when I was erasing it, it just didn't feel
Because
right.
this
Like I needed to angle it, but I couldn't angle it because I think usually
whole
this
thing?
keyboard is underneath your
Oh yeah,
drawing
this
pad.
keyboard. I've been thinking about like making
a stand or something.
making a stand for this to set on, so it can be up higher, away from my keyboard.
I feel like
Or
I'm trying to move it away.
I have this collecting dust. this this thing that I could program all these different buttons to do different things that the. What are you doing?
in front and hold it in front so people can see. I know what you have.
So I could program this to take the place of this.
Oh, so I could do it too? You could do
Yeah, so you could do this.
zoom in.
So
but
I
then
use
I'd
this
have
to
learn.
zoom in, undo.
Oh.
I already have it programmed.
Okay.
Save, I think. So I can program all those different things to that.
And then it wouldn't be so.
And then we could just move this keyboard over here,
Right.
and then we can just do this. The other thing that I don't like about this is this edge here.
Oh, it collects.
It collects and it catches your hand.
Yeah, weird.
And so like the Wacom has extra space
Yeah.
over here, so your hand can rest on it
They
while
can't
you're
see
doing
that,
No.
right?
But
Tis
but
what it is.
otherwise, I do like the drawing experience on this. I could put this on an arm, but I just didn't
that's
like.
what you had
I
to
didn't like
have,
having
that's
that
right.
arm over here because it's just. I feel like it's in the way of everything. I already have enough stuff up here. So.
Timothy says, I'm looking into buying your comic, the John Calvin one. Yeah, June 19th.
Yeah, this one is it's coming out June 19th.
The first
The first
chapters.
The first 5 chapters of book 1. I'm right now, this is chapter 7 that I'm doing the layout for. These are all the different pages that I have for this one. So right now, what I have is I have it all just like separated into with the text on different pages, trying to figure out how many panels are going to be on each page. So I have this first one kind of laid out, but actually I don't know if this is the updated text or not. So that's also what I'm needing to do is get my files out here, open up folder for P&R. Chapter. Oh. Wait a second. So I have to close all these. I think I have the wrong thing open. Let's try this one. Hey, that looks better. That looks more like what I was looking for. Okay. Oh, you love Timothy says he loves the frame with Calvin in the t-shirt and the roller skates. Okay, I don't know why. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna put your comment up there one more time. Just because I'm trying to resize my frame here, my pop-up frame. There we go. Now it's not stretched. Those of you watching on Instagram, my YouTube. Oh, hey, Bars X 2004. Oh, whoops. This should be active. I don't know why. I don't know why the Instagram ones are not showing up on my feed over here. But hey, thanks for tuning in. Just gonna test something out. Okay, yeah, that's not working. You should have Zoom meetings for people who subscribe to a newsletter. That's an idea. That's just, I feel like that's just one more thing to add to everything else I have to do right now.
Be hard. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, unless you were able
Unless
to
I'm
draw at the same time.
Yeah, unless I'm working on stuff
Yeah.
at the
that'd be
same
cool,
time.
though.
I do have a newsletter. If you go to RefToons.com, you can sign up for it. Most of the time, I'm sending out discounts and things like that in the shop, and then occasionally I'll send out the new tunes.
Timothy says, I know a Christian YouTuber that did that.
Oh, cool.
Cool. You just said cool.
Jesse Griffith. I'm tuning in through Instagram, and it says I'm the only one watching. You might be. Well, right now it says there's 2 people watching. One of them might be me.
Thanks for reminding us.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So yeah, there's looks like maybe one person on YouTube and one person on Instagram watching.
This is the most interaction you've had in a long time.
I know. I'm grateful for you all.
You both.
You both. You too. This this chapter is going to be quite interesting. It's going to have a lot of
Timothy he says, I subscribed to your newsletter.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Do you hear my hands? Could you hear that? It's like sandpaper.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just feels. Warning. There's a warning on your screen. The stress.
The stream's current bit rate is lower than the recommended bit rate. We recommend that you ...
Subscribe like
What?
20 seconds ago. That's funny.
It doesn't say.
Thank you for subscribing.
It says good connection.
Oh. Okay.
Yes, thank you for
I wasn't
subscribing.
sure.
Yeah, I'm not really doing much drawing.
No, it's been 2
I'm
minutes.
rambling.
Well, you had the wrong file up, right?
Yeah, I did. So, yeah, this one's going to be like, I have to develop kind of this whole like downtown city type of thing, or no, it's more like a library. It's like a bookstore with like different sections in it.
Oh. Timothy says you're welcome.
Right now I actually... Okay, so those are wrong. I need to create a text box.
What kind of mind frame do you have to be in to do these things? Like, is a live mind frame?
A live mind frame is
Very
probably
conducive.
not very good for getting all this text straightened out, because that's what I have to do here. I did create a brand new RefTune today. You'll see that tomorrow morning.
Or now for the 2 people who
Or
are
now.
watching.
You guys want to see it now?
Yeah.
Here we go.
I didn't even see it.
No.
So maybe for the 3 people.
If I can open my recents.
Timothy says I drew a John Calvin RefToons. Yes.
You did? Sweet. Here we go. Here we go.
No. Oh, yes.
Sneak peek for everybody. Here we go. We have: to keep the heart is carefully to preserve it from sin which disorders it, and and maintain that spiritual and gracious frame which fits it for a life of communion with God.
Oh, I am.
Sorry.
Can we try that again?
I know. To keep the heart is carefully to preserve it from sin, which disorders it. So he's talking about keeping the heart. It's from his book called Keeping the Heart, John Flavel. Cleaning house. Your house is your heart. Cleaning house of sin. And maintaining that spiritual and gracious frame which fits it for a life of communion with God. Just the kind of... This is a book that I've been listening to while I'm at work during the week. And I jotted down a few different quotes to do from this book.
And that's the one you chose.
That's the one I chose.
What did I do yesterday?
I...
Oh, no, I can't say.
No, okay.
I chose I was reading something and I told you should do
Oh, yeah.
a RefToon that you were that very day working on.
Yeah, I was already working on it. But it wasn't a RefToon.
That's what I can say. No, well, yeah. It's funny. He's going to email a drawing to you.
Oh, nice. Maybe I can check it live.
So that you're not drawing.
Yeah, that's what
It's now 20 minutes in.
I know. I've been drawing all day long. Oh, it's probably a better use of these live streams anyways.
To check your emails?
Just to check email. Pay my bills.
Okay, he says he sent it. Is it coming? Is it in?
Which email did you send it to?
Okay, you can draw something. I'll tell you when he gets back to you. Oh. There it is.
There it is. John Calvin drawing. Do you mind if I share it? Or
like on
the video here?
Oh.
Oh, cool.
That is cool. Nice. I like the light.
Oops.
Looks like yours.
How do I do
feet
this?
and light. Oh, that's cool.
How do I
He
save
said he
this?
sent it to your. Sure, he says. Okay, yeah.
There we go. If I can figure out how to use my computer here. All right, this is from Timothy. TJS113 on YouTube. Oops. Is something honking?
Like the tornado siren?
Yeah.
Hawking?
Honking. All right. Very good, Timothy. I like to see that. That's awesome. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. The Bible. He's opening it up and it's shining a light on his path. Very good. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
This is and the Charles Spurgeon.
And the Charles Spurgeon. Did you send that one as well? Oh, let me see one.
Is there? I don't know what he's saying that in comment too.
Whoops. I'm just randomly clicking things. That's not good. There we go.
That's a lot of tabs.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, so
you sent it some time ago. Okay.
So you'd have to dig.
I'd have to dig.
Just search my name in your inbox, I think. Oh, so you could
Okay.
do that.
Timothy, not TJ. S113.
Did you say? Oh, did I say it wrong?
No. Okay. Oh, I found my script. Here's my script. So if you guys want to see what the script looks like, I'll share some behind the scenes stuff here. So this is the script that Martin Williams has created for me based on John Calvin's Instututes. And so what he does is he goes through the Instututes and he summarizes it. Someone's car alarm is going off.
I did not hear anything, Paul.
Is
Is it ours? I'll have to go listen.
So he'll give an explanation of the scene, and then frame one, he'll describe what possibly could be happening in that scene, and then he'll give the text of the dialogue of whoever's talking. And I'll get these. They're not separated into pages, so I just have to go through and figure out how many panels will work well on however many pages. And sometimes I'll need to add panels with no text just to kind of get the reader into the story here. So this is what I'm working from right here. And actually I do need to what is it? Do you hear it?
It sounds like when you're charging the Arlo, how it does that, like. I don't think I hear what you're hearing. It doesn't sound like a car alarm.
Maybe it's coming from in here somewhere.
I think so.
Is it this? Oh, right here.
Oh. Nope, it's outside. It sounds like a ring, ring, ring.
Okay.
That's the train.
Oh. Oh, the wheels going on the tracks and stuff. Okay. All right, Timothy sent the Spurgeon one. Thanks, Timothy. It's downloading right now.
Oh, okay.
So while that downloads, I'm going to just grab some of this text, copy, and paste. And then I'm actually going to change the font. Oh, excellent. Oh, I did see that one. I remember seeing that one. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it. That's cool.
Okay. Save it to my computer. And all right, here's another drawing from Timothy. He did a Charles Spurgeon cartoon here. We must keep to the running till God gives us rest. Our Lord has won the victory. His enthronement at the right hand of God has well rewarded the man, Christ Jesus, for the depth of his shame and misery. We must not cease our following of him till we triumph too. From Timothy Sample.
Cool.
In January. Charles Spurgeon. All right. That's from Timothy Sample, TJS113 on YouTube. Excellent. Thanks, Timothy. All right. So I'm actually I bought this new font that I'm using. And I like it a whole lot better than what I was using. I was using a free one that I just found randomly online. And I have to actually delete all these because these are from the wrong script. From the yeah, here we go. And Stephanie's reading a funny book, I bet.
I'm reading Kon-Tiki by Thor Heyerdahl, and I'm in the very middle where it has like biographical background, and it says on Christmas Eve, 1936, Heyerdahl took a wife. Whose wife? Like, doesn't that sound like a funny way to say that?
Yeah. All right, so that first page is only going to have one dialogue box on it. The rest is just a lead up to whatever is happening. So let's kind of sketch that out. So I have a description here. It says the story unfolds in an enchanting bookshop filled with towering trees that have spiral staircases, shelves nested in branches, swinging bridges, and cobblestone streets lined with quaint bookshops. So it's a bookshop that has bookshops within it. Sounds like a place I'd like to visit. This magical environment serves as the backdrop for Calvin's teachings on the book of Scripture to two curious children, a boy and a girl. Frame 1, Calvin and the children stand before a grand entrance of an enchanting bookshop. The door is adorned with intricate carvings of books, and the warm glow of lanterns illuminates the scene. All right. Oh, sorry, Timothy, I did not see your
Sorry, I'm reading it.
messages here. Here we go. Let's see. Thank you. This means a lot to me. Probably one of my favorite artists. Thank you. I appreciate it. Is it all right if I mention this cool interaction on my channel? Yeah, go for it. My friend Faith Lama, pronounced Yama, is watching the video. I sent it to her. Awesome. Well, thanks for sending more people over here. And we'll send some people over to your channel. Go check out TJS113 on YouTube.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Is that for me? No. You don't hear the sound.
No, I don't hear it anymore. Actually. So I want to lead in with something. So as it starts off, they're standing before the entrance. This crazy bookshop. Actually, the description that he has in the script kind of gives me a little bit of anxiety because it just seems like it feels so epic that I don't feel like I feel like as I draw it or try to sketch it out, it's not going to be up to par with what my imagination is telling me. So here's rough sketch. They go through the doors. Maybe it's a camera shot looking up at them as they walk through these doors. Maybe actually the text doesn't come on until the next page. Okay, I'm gonna hide that one. Sometimes it takes several sketches before you even land on the one that's right. This is where I go back and I consult the script again to figure out different ideas. Calvin and the children enter the bookshop, a vast interior filled with towering trees that have spiral staircases and bookshelves nestled in their trunks. The atmosphere is warm and inviting, with soft lighting and cozy reading nooks. So there needs to be a grand entrance of an enchanting bookshop. Oh, I know how I'll do it. So I'll separate this is just a placeholder. I'll separate it like this. So this larger part is going to be the bookshop exterior with lanterns and awning with like a title, bookstore, something, some windows.
Timothy says, wow, you're really quick at this. Did you read that already?
I didn't read it.
And then I still have my 2025 calendar on my wall. Well, good, because it's still
Good.
2025.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
24 is behind that, and 23 is behind that. Just kidding. Although, you know, the girls, I took down the girls' calendar today.
Hmm.
I don't think they've written a single thing in it, but I took it down to put up one of the pictures that used to be up there.
Oh, yeah.
The puzzle that your grandpa and grandma did.
Oh, right.
So I kind of wonder how long it's going to take them to notice. And I put your picture back on the wall here.
I saw that.
Okay. And then we have some more that we can put back up. And then we don't have to tell people we have nothing on our wall.
Yeah. Bookstore. So we're gonna windows here. But they're gonna be like that. And then
Are you gonna make a 2026 calendar?
yes, I will make a 2026 calendar. I've already started working on
Lord willing.
some of the new tunes. Yes, Lord willing. I have some new tunes that I plan on sticking in there. Today's will be one, and then I've got like 3 more other ones. Yeah, 3 other ones, and then I'll just have 8 more to do.
You
And
didn't.
then I can also start laying out the RefToons collection too. Well, I've already started laying it out, but I can add these to it. Get that one done. Maybe this can be like one store amongst a bunch of other stores. Here.
Did you write all frame 1, 2, 3, all that, or someone else did?
No, that's Martin's writing.
Oh, okay. It doesn't sound like something you would say.
Mm-mm.
That would be why.
Yeah,
Because you didn't.
I didn't.
Is that kind of subject to however you want to
Yeah, I
interpret
can.
it?
So it doesn't even have to be page 1.
I was just wondering how he was talking about like the frames. How does he know? You haven't even read it. That's why I'm wondering.
No, it's all
what you're doing
subject. So the first page isn't going to have any text on it at all.
next. Okay. Oh, is that what he's? Wait, when
It's
he says
leading
frame,
in.
does it mean page 1?
No, frame means the frame, like the comic
words?
panel. The panel that has each
The
panel
pictures in it?
with the pictures in it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a frame.
What's the words then?
The words
go
are
in the
the
frame.
dialogue box or the word bubble, text balloon.
I read a poem today about taking out the garbage to the girls, and it was Shel Silverstein in a different book, in a school book. I thought that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
The girls were like, "Oh, this one's my favorite," and then here comes Donovan with his favorite. A naked man with a really long beard. What? How many tunes are in collection 2?
Oh, there's probably gonna be around 85 or so, 85 or 90.
Do you
think
have a
that's-
date for that?
No, I don't have a date for that. Should.
Yeah.
Then it'll push me more.
Mm. Well, that's the last thing you need, I think, right now, but sure.
All right.
Maybe the first thing.
So it's gonna start out. So we have this setting the stage. We have them walking up to this fancy looking bookstore in like a downtown area, like an old downtown, like 1800s or whatever. And close up of Calvin at the door, reaching for the handles, looking at the kids with a smirk on his face. And then the next page is going to be doors swung wide open, look of awe on the kids' faces as they go into this enchanted bookstore. Whoa, I was expecting 24. Did you already read that?
No. I'm reading my book. In.
Oh. What was your inspiration for these characters? The kids. It's a good question. I don't think I really had an inspiration for them. I just thought so the kids weren't originally in the script. It was just Calvin kind of explaining things. But as I was reading it and trying to figure out how to do this as a graphic novel, I I thought he needs to be like interacting with someone, and someone needs to be coming along and learning from him, and these characters could probably experience some growth as they ask questions throughout the book. And so I just kind of sketched out a few different variations of kids, and these ones were the most interesting. So that's how I landed on these ones. So let's see here. I have this kind of at an angle. Calvin's got his arms out like this. Having just swung the doors open wide. Kids are behind him. And then we see like the trees growing in here. We've got bookshelves in the trees, books. Maybe some lights hanging from the branches of the tree. Because that would be cool. Makes it feel a little more enchanting. And I have it at a kind of a diagonal like this to kind of show kind of give you kind of a just I just feel like it makes it more intense. Like you start off with this calm scene of them walking up to this door. He grabs onto the door handles, and then bam, we're here. He just kind of puts you right in there, in the scene. Bookshelves, a few bookshelves. Maybe, do I need people reading books? Maybe. Maybe a spiral staircase going up. Right now it probably just looks like a bunch of scribbles to you guys, but this is how I think through these panels. And then later on I go through and kind of clean things up. How many pages is this graphic novel going to be? Well, the first book, chapters 1 through 5, is about 72 pages, I think. So this one will probably be close to that. This one only has 4 chapters, though. So it could be shorter, depending on the chapters. Although, actually, I take that back. I think this one includes a chapter on the Holy Spirit, and so that one's going to be, I think that one is quite long. So this one could end up being about 72 pages as well. All right, so here is where we get our first dialogue box. It was like our neighbor's home.
Or across the street.
Yeah. Or maybe not.
Good reading.
Okay, so now this is going to be his hand grabbing onto one of the many books that's in this bookshop. This is a special book because it's the Bible. Just taking it off the shelf here. Is that a good book?
I'm like looking at they have like pictures with little things. They had flying fish that would go onto their
Oh.
deck during the night, and the cook's first duty in the morning was to collect them all for eating.
Mm.
It's like food that just comes to you.
Flies to you from the ocean.
It's crazy.
I've seen videos of those things going onto boats and stuff, hitting people in the face.
I would be terrified. Like every single thing in this book, I just like you kind of read it with white knuckles. Oh, how would you like to find that in your sleeping bag?
Just a minute. What is it? An eel
No,
or something?
they
Oh,
say
yikes. That's
we were the first to see
creepy.
a living snake mackerel. I jumped on board one night and got into Torstein's sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the octopuses would go up the masts and stuff,
Oh,
and
really?
they'd get. I just oh, yuck. Oh, he's Timothy's saying. Did you see this last one? I want to make comic books someday. Any tips?
No,
Ideas?
I did not.
But I have a hard time putting them on paper. Comment up there.
Yeah, just a minute. Okay. Let's see. I want to make comic books someday. Any tips? I have ideas, but I have a hard time putting them on paper. All right. Well, yeah, I have a really hard time putting ideas on paper as well. I think that's natural. You're always going to have a hard time getting your ideas out there at first. Sometimes, like just staring at a blank sheet of paper is the worst for your psyche or your mental abilities. So any tips I would have is like draw what you love. Of course, that's the first thing. That's kind of one thing that I had to, or that I kind of started out with. So like draw what interests you, draw from your experiences and things like that. Are you talking about getting the story on paper or getting the drawings on paper? You're just starting your drawings. For me, I have a really hard time writing out my story ideas and coming up with stories. Or, well, not, I come up with the ideas, but like the actual execution of like writing is not my forte. So when I have something like this where someone else is doing the writing and I can just let my imagination flow with the pictures, that's a lot better for me. And so I'm thankful that Martin is doing this and asked me to be a part of it. So trying to write a script for a series about these 3 bumbling idiots in medieval times. They want to serve the king in some capacity, but they only cause disaster. Sounds funny. One piece of advice that was really helpful for me at one point was someone said don't start out trying to do like a big long graphic novel or anything. Just start out with small stories or even small strips, comic strips or something. And that'll help you get small doses of story in a small amount of space. And then you'll actually have a finished story. If you're doing comic strips, each strip is a story, and it's a fairly short story as well. So create short stories and draw those first, and then build up into something bigger.
As practice then.
Yeah, that's probably the word I was trying to find.
How do you know what to let do most of the talking? Do you let your pictures do most of the talking, or do you let your words do the talking?
Well, it depends
On whatever style you're going
on your story and what requires of it. When you're writing your story, read it out loud to yourself as if a real person were like saying the words, and say it and emote, like do the actions, do the gestures that someone would do, but like kind of exaggerate them. And if there's a pause, do a pause, because sometimes you don't even have to have words in a panel. You can just have a person's expression reacting to the previous panel or something previously that was said.
He says I made a comic strip about these talking bowling pins.
Nice.
Oh, are you still on Instagram or no?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Because I don't see any of that.
No, I don't know. Instagram's there were some were some comments
Did
on
you see 'em all?
Instagram, but they're not coming through onto my
Under the thing that we were
program here
Okay.
for some reason. I'm not sure.
I love
Why?
doing that, he says. The bowling pins, that's funny.
So yeah, off the top of my head, late at night, that's the those are some of the only tips I can think of right now. Where's my other?
For making a comic?
Hmm?
For making a comic.
Yeah, for making a comic. There's a lot of stuff that I've just kind of gleaned from
What did you do when
other
you
artists over the years.
were working with Laura?
Laura, when I was working with Laura,
Because she kind of taught you.
yeah,
Oh.
she would have me lay out her comics because she would release them like weekly or something like that, couple new pages weekly for her Dreamer comic. And so I apprenticed for a comic artist back in like 2012, and where'd my script go? And so she would have me lay out her comics. So I would just do like what I did here, just kind of sketch things out in blue, and then send them over to her. She would look them over, and then tell me what was good about the layout and what wasn't, and what she would do differently to have the story go a certain way or to have it flow a little better. And so there was just kind of that back and forth feedback from someone who was working professionally as a comic book artist. So that was very helpful for me at that stage in my career. I was new to making comics at that point, and I didn't really know much about what I was doing. And in exchange for all of that, we also had like these Zoom meetings before Zoom existed. We'd have these meetings and talk about different things about creating comics. And we'd get advice from her. And that was part of that was that there were like three other people who were part of the apprenticeship, and she had us each, while we were helping her with thumbnails and things like that and learning from her, she was having us create our own comic strip or comic story, like a 12-page or 8-page. Well, mine ended up being like an 8-page comic about Bigfoot, about a guy searching for Bigfoot and finding him on Mars. And that's where I kind of learned to do like the shorter story. Come up with a short story, have your beginning, have your ending, and then fill it in. And just consider it practice making stories. Oh, I'm emailed Bowling Pin Comics. Sorry, it seems like I'm bombarding you with emails. All right. One more time. I'll check that out. Day at the bowling alley. No, Tommy. That's funny. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Keep doing things like short things like this to practice, but also keep reading other comic strips like Calvin and Hobbes and other people who are doing these things, and who read comic strips that you enjoy, and and just keep practicing those, and through doing that you will get better and better at writing the comics and writing the dialogue and pacing the comedy and the timing and everything. So hopefully that's helpful. You did make a comic that was 100+ pages, but the story was what I was thinking. just kind of a stream of consciousness type of story. Yeah, sometimes that can be helpful too, just to get stuff off your mind and onto the page. Just keep doing stuff like that, and I feel like eventually a story will come or some inspirational hit. All right, well, I'm gonna call it night. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Timothy, for the conversation. It was wonderful. I will show you guys this. John Calvin's Illustrated Instututes, Knowing God and Knowing Ourselves. Book 1, chapters 1 through 5. I don't know why it's all blurry. There we go. The funniest comment I had when I showed a video of this this cover, I had a comment on Facebook. It was either Facebook or Instagram, probably Facebook. They said, "Ha, a cat in outer space. Galaxies aren't even real." And I think they were serious. It didn't sound like a joke, but I just thought that was funny. But yes, there's a cat in outer space, and so is John Calvin. But he was never in space for real. It's just artistic interpretation. So Calvin's Institute's coming out June 19th through P&R Publishing. This is a sample of the first chapter right here. Took that to some conferences. And Timothy asks, "Good night, Paul. When is the next live stream?" Probably tomorrow after I get home from work. I'll probably hop on here probably around like, give me time to eat, maybe like 5:30 Central Time tomorrow evening. So thank you all for tuning in, and we all have a good evening.